It takes place in a foreign land known as the Shapeless Isle. A faraway island that lies beyond the Okeanos, known to no one but the three grey witches, the Graiae. It is said that a fallen goddess that transformed into the terrible Gorgon lived there. Many warriors reached this temple, shrouded in mystery. Some went to confirm the legend of the Gorgon. Others went to claim the glory of slaying the Gorgon. Some were dispatched to the island with an oracle's dazzling prophecy. Yet others equipped themselves with swords, spears, bows and arrows and traveled there with nary word spoken to anyone else. Yet none of them still breathe. Not a single one escaped the island alive. They did not die and return to the earth either. Turned into stone alive, their lives simply ended there. The owner of Cybele, with the mystic eyes of petrification, walks through the temple. Her hair is like silk of the Far East, and her skin is white like freshly fallen snow. And yet she is drier than the desert of Nubia and more vicious than a sandstorm. She gazes at the stone statues of the petrified heroes, taking special notice of one of them. The statue of a huge man carrying a spear. His bulging sinews remind her of the great physical strength he had while he was still alive. As the temple's queen looks over the stone figure, her lips curve slightly. She raises her strange-looking dagger overhead in front of the pitiful man. Pulling the chain attached to the double-edged dagger, now sticking out from the statue, she wraps it around another statue. Standing in front of the chain now stretched between the two figures, she bends down to the basket at her feet and picks up a heap of laundry. What? In the basket are a multitude of clothes made from expensive silk and linen, decorated with laces and ribbons. She washes them all diligently, rinsing in the river and then hanging them up on the chains one by one. Stoically, she labors on. The moment it falls into her hands, a spear turns into a clothesline, a sword into a hanger, and a helmet into a shoe-drying rack. Thus, having finished hanging up the laundry, she notices a single statue casting a shadow on the clothes and proceeds to kick it down. Her work is finally completed. The owner of the mystic eyes looks at the statues scattered throughout the temple. She sighs listlessly. She sits down on the statue of a man trying to crawl away to escape. Under the pleasantly warm sunlight, a dry wind breezes through her hair and the laundry. Bathed by the rays of sunlight, she gazes at the sun absent-mindedly. Right now, she is neither a goddess worshipped by many, nor a monster which shakes the earth, but a young woman enjoying the tranquility. Suddenly, a voice filled with anger echoes in the temple. Not that this is a rare occurrence on this island. Seeking the glory of exterminating the snake witch, many people come day and night to kill her. As a result, it seems that there will be one more clothes hanger to join this cemetery of bizarre stone statues. However, the owner of the mystic eyes, who was supposed to smack her lips at her new sacrifice, cowers as if meeting the end of the world.
してこんな。
Appearing on the top of the stairs overlooking the forest of stone statues. Ah, Twin Tails is only a single girl in a dazzling outfit.
あなたはなんてことを。だって洗濯物を干すのにその錆び臭い鎖は使うなとあれほど言ったじゃないの。
Well, I think everyone who plays Fate Grand Order should already know who that is.
お許しください姉様。便利なものでつい。お黙りなさい。ああもう私の端正だった服に鎖の凹凸の跡がついて台無しじゃない。でかいあなたがバカ力で力任せにこするから汚れだけでなく神聖まで落として。いいこと？私の体を飾る衣装はあなたの粗雑な服とは違うのです。大柄だからってやることなすことずさんなんだから。はい、申し訳ございません。それに私の靴、あんなブサイクな男の上に乗せるなんてどういうこと？お気に入りの靴だったのにあれじゃあ汚らわしくてもう履けないわ。大女総身に知恵が回りかねと言うけれどあなたと来たら品位や美意識まで欠けているようね。はい、返す言葉もございません。その服は陰干ししなきゃダメじゃない。焦っちゃってる。もう洗濯一つ満足にできないどころか服を全部ダメにしちゃうなんて信じられない。あなたは究極の疫病神なの？それとも最高の役立たずなの？どうなの？答えなさいダメデューサ。
She might look cute, but she's pretty mean, isn't she?
それは姉様次は気をつけますから。まだわからないようね。あなたに次なんてないのよ。もう私は明日から何を着ればいいの？あなたみたいに裸同然のハレンチな格好で過ごせというの？でもこの服は姉様たちの。何よ文句あるの？あなたには私たちの余り物で十分でしょうに。
Ah, so that's why Medusa's outfit is so skimpy. This beautiful woman was told off completely by a girl with a height lower than her chest. It might have looked charming to an observer, but sadly there's nobody there to watch but worthless stone statues now.
まったくどれもこれも醜いわ。女の気を引きたがるような下びた顔ばっかりでもう眺めが最悪。男はこんな顔するようになったらおしまいね。これからは美形の男だけ石にしなさい。鑑賞価値のないここの石像は全部砕いて片付けること。今晩までに。そんなだってこんなにあるのに。姉の私がやれと言ったらやるのよ。あなたは妹。この島では奴隷以下の存在なんだから。あとこの前みたいに手を抜いてベルレフォンで石像を一掃するなんてのはダメよ。そんなことしたら神殿まで焼け焦げちゃうでしょ。まったくバレなければいいだなんて誰に似たのかしら。姉様だと思うけど。聞こえたわよメデューサ。信じられない。 さっきあなたは奴隷以下だと断ったばかりなのに、それをもう忘れて姉に反乱を起こすなんて。そこまでは。やっぱり物覚えの悪いあなたには絶対霊獣の態度を体で教えてあげなきゃわからないかしら。あ、逃げるなんて許さないわよ、メデューサ。
Shaking off the restraining voice of her pursuer, the owner of Mystic Eyes dashes off at full speed. She's heading for the stable. There resides her Pegasus, a gift from the god of the sea, Poseidon. She needs to get on the winged specimen of a phantasmal species and escape to the skies for a while, far away from the reach of her sister's hands. Then she just has to pray that her sister's mood would change before she returns.
そうすると掃除と食事の用意が。でもあのままだったらお仕置きされて結局できないし。
She laments while fleeing away. Thanks to her long legs, her sister couldn't catch up to her on foot. She felt gloomy at the thought that this was the only time that she was thankful for her tall stature.
私も姉様みたいに可愛ければいいのに。
She opens the door of the stable. But now there's the other one. The owner of the Mystic Eye stands still in shock.
姉様、どうしてこちらに？
The girl holding the reins to Pegasus laughs lightly.
あら、ごめんなさいね、メデューサ。ちょうど遠乗りから帰ってきたばかりで、この子は疲れ切っています。私はともかく、あなたのように大きくて重たい乗り手はもう乗せられないでしょうね。
I'm sure he can, though.
そんな、今日は朝から休ませてあげるって。島の外に出たいの？それなら泳いでいけばいいでしょ。あなたの肥えた体なら水によく浮きますもの。
I don't think there is much fat on her body.
いいですか？持ち主として注意しますが、今日はこの子を使ってはいけません。え？だってその子は私がいただいて。困ったメデューサね。妹のものは姉のもの、姉のものは姉のものだと何度言えばわかるのでしょう。ほんとすぐ楽して私の天まで出かけようとするのはおやめなさい。悲しいわ。その物臭なところは一体誰に似たのかしら。ああ、聞こえましたよ、メデューサ。
She didn't say anything.
仕方ありませんね。私も本意ではありませんが、妹が姉に背くとどうなるか体で教えて差し上げます。今度は何も言ってません。ごめんなさい。
The owner cannot help but dart out of the stable, however.
あら、私のところに戻ってくるなんて姑息なあなたにしては殊勝な心がけね。下姉様。あら、私がメデューサを捕まえてくださったの？上姉様。
Okay, I think the eldest sister is Steno and the elder sister is Euryale, if I'm not mistaken. This will require some explanation. The two girls giving Medusa a hard time, each one the spitting image of the other. These two are, in fact, Medusa's older sisters. The eldest one is Steno the Strong. The younger one is Euryale, the Farflyer. Finally, the youngest and tallest, alike yet different, is Medusa, the woman that dominates. Doesn't seem like she's dominating right now, though. These three lovely ladies were the infamous Gorgon sisters. Exiled to the Shapeless Isle, turning one brave man after another into stone, they were prominent monsters even in the world of Greece. However, as a side note to avoid any misunderstanding, it was only the youngest sister, Medusa, who struck fear into the hearts of heroes. That is to say, the two older sisters could not boast of any fighting prowess at all. Or rather, while they had been acquiring an entirely different ill reputation than Medusa, her sisters were revered as goddesses by the nearby man. Originally, they were ancient, indigenous gods of Greece. Nevertheless, jealous of their beauty, the goddess Athena took away their faith from the people and exiled them to the Shapeless Isle. Although only Medusa alone received Athena's ire, out of care for their younger sister, the siblings accompanied her to the isle as well. Since then, rumors about them being monsters started circulating amongst people. However, a rumor is still only a rumor. They did not become monsters and merely continued to spend their days like before. The legendary infamous Medusa aside, the first and second daughters were literally perfected goddesses. The eldest daughter, Steno, a lady with elegant demeanor, overflowing grace and wisdom in her words and actions. A goddess said to be the ideal woman. It is said that merely hearing one's name escape from her lips is enough to make a man lose his senses over the rapturous feeling and swear eternal loyalty to her. The second daughter, Euryale, a lady with carefree demeanor, overflowing smile, and the essence of purity in her words and actions. A goddess said to be the ideal girl. It is said that merely hearing one's name escape from her lips is enough to make a man tremble all over with honor and swear to protect her even at the cost of his life. Unlike Medusa, these two goddesses had neither mystic eyes nor supernatural strength. With merely the power of immortality and eternal youth, they were just weak girls. Athena lied about them. That the reason they would never grow old was because they were monsters. That was false. Different from the gods of Olympus who needed to consume the golden apples to stop aging, the sisters, especially Steno and Euryale, were born into this world as idols, completely immortal. They were the embodiment of the yearning hearts of man. Although they would never age, they were the weakest beings in this world. With no power to fight, these immortal girls would starve if left alone. They could not live without help from others. That is the divine essence of these Gorgon sisters. From the moment they were created and up until the moment they are destroyed, they will remain the same. Except the youngest, who was a failure from birth. The youngest daughter, Medusa. Different from her older sisters, she did not have the skills of a perfect goddess. The two older sisters were forever young, but Medusa's immortality was imperfect. As a result, in spite of being the younger sister, Medusa grew older and taller than her sisters and was revered as a monster different from them altogether. As a side note, one ought to mention that she was a great goddess nevertheless. The Gorgon sisters were the results of the deification of the same natural phenomena. One could call them copies or clones. It could have been a mistake during her birth, or there might have been a deeper significance to it, but the youngest sister, Medusa, was not copied correctly. The older sisters embodied the concept of forever young and immortal, yet Medusa received nothing of the sort. Nevertheless, as a compensation, Medusa was endowed with various abilities which her sisters were not. The mystic eyes of petrification, a supernatural ability to interfere with nature, and excellent physical abilities. All of these can be said to be divine powers indispensable in protecting her sisters who couldn't live in this world by themselves. However, it was those physical differences that caused the sisters, once united, to become three different individuals. It is not a surprising development for Medusa, different from the start, but in the process of interacting with one such sibling, even the two others, who were meant to be the same, eventually showed slight irregularities. The youngest sister, an expert in combat, and her older sisters who perfected themselves as idols. Unlike Medusa, they liked humans very much. They welcomed the man who visited their island, comforted them, and sent them on a new adventure. Eternal idols, the incarnations of the image of a pure maiden. Idealized, never-aging young girls. Twin deities in a class entirely different from that of the haughty goddesses with full curves. That's right. As goddesses whose purpose was just to be loved and spoiled, being cute was their specialty. The ultimate sisters whose beauty would never be matched even by Medusa's best efforts. They were the Snow White goth lolly idol duo. For Steno and Euryale, that was the meaning of their very existence. Well, that's what the man observing from afar and oblivious of their true character said of them. The eldest daughter, Steno, a lady with elegant demeanor, overflowing grace, and wisdom in her words and actions. A goddess said to be the ideal woman. It is said that merely hearing one's name escape from her lips is enough to make a man lose his senses over the rapturous feeling and swear eternal loyalty to her. However, according to a certain younger sister who wishes to remain anonymous, she would say that Steno was the perfect example of laziness. She had not the slightest interest in things she didn't like. Worse still, this monstrous sister's cruelty towards those she had no interest in would make the watchdogs of hell tremble in fear. The second daughter, Euryale. A lady with carefree demeanor, overflowing smile, and the essence of purity in her words and actions. A goddess said to be the ideal girl. It is said that merely hearing one's name escape from her lips is enough to make a man tremble all over with honor and swear to protect her even at the cost of his life. However, according to a certain younger sister who once again wishes to remain anonymous, she would say that Euryale was the ultimate display of mood swings. On top of that, she was sly as well. If I keep quiet, no one will be mad, and if I don't get caught, then there was nothing wrong. Ho ho ho! And yet, she would feel just a little guilty later. That's the impish, cowardly second sister. Unlike Medusa, they liked humans very much. They welcomed the man who visited the island, comforted them, and sent them on a new adventure. But even that was a gigantic trap. They loved everything pretty and cute, freely and unconditionally. Indeed, these two devils did love humans. However, what they loved was not simply humans as living beings, but rather toying with the people they liked, embarrassing and driving them to their ruin. In short, watching them struggle. They loved it more than life itself.
姉様、それは姉様たちが無条件で嫌う醜いものだと思うのですが。呆れた。取り返しのつかないほど趣味が悪いのね、メデューサ。いいこと？綺麗なものがこの上なく無様に踊る。それが本当の美しさというものよ。
Hence, many brave men became the sister sacrifice. The heroes who came seeking to curse them were met with impossible demands and went back to their countries weeping. Alas, the terrifying, devilish three sisters. Some went to challenge the she-monster Medusa to gain fame and were petrified. Others went to seek the hand of the goddess in marriage and ended up ridiculed beyond all reason until they met their death. "O brave warriors, if there are men amongst you, they shall do well to leave this place." This is the island at the utmost end of the world, an evil paradise inhabited by women of peerless beauty. Look, pal, I'm telling you, for your own good, just don't ever get involved with a goddess. This island practically exists to teach you this lesson, you know. And that is the rough summary of the story behind the Temple of Darkness. A peaceful afternoon without any challengers, which was quite rare. As part of the daily ritual, Medusa's being picked on by the two older sisters again.
まあ、私からも逃げようとしてたの？ふーん。私に何をしたのか、まずは話を聞きたいわ。
Medusa is caught between the two sisters, each a spitting image of the other. Unlike Medusa, who matures slowly but surely, her older sisters remain forever the same. Since the basics of their personalities are the same, they sense the same things as well. Far surpassing telepathy, they are more like two parts of the same body, each of them feeling everything the other does.
そう。私に逆らったのね、あなた。私に2度も逆らったことになるわね。ええ。私への侮辱は私への侮辱だから。じゃあ私と私がお仕置きをしてあげないと。もちろん妹をしつけるのは姉の義務であり権利であり有楽だもの。
Solemnly, Euryale turns to a statue standing beside Medusa. A slim and tall warrior raising a huge sword overhead.
顔もまあまあ整ってるし、これがいいかしら。
Holding onto the man's armor, she pulls herself up with all her strength, as if trying to tear the pieces off.
下姉様。
Flexing her short limbs, Euryale steadily climbs up the man's body.
下姉様、危ないからやめないと。メドゥーサ、これはお仕置きです。あなたは動かないように。はい。
Like a slithering serpent. With slow and steady movements, she flows towards the top of the statue. Not able to take her eyes off Euryale, Medusa feels as if all of her own limbs are entangled by a snake, unable to even twitch.
絶景絶景。誰かを見下ろすっていうのはこんなに気持ちがいいものなのね。ええ。浅はかなメドゥーサが増長するのもやる方ないのかもしれません。では私をお許しいただけるのでしょうか。メデューサ、物覚えの悪いあなたのことだからもう一度だけ命令してあげるわ。いい？絶対に避けちゃダメよ。
Her small body dances in the air, which is hardly surprising, given that she is Euryale the Farflyer. The flying goddess leaps towards Medusa's snow-white neck, grins wide, opens her mouth and bares her fangs. And then delivers an evil kiss. A battle cry that punches through the skin and pierces the blood vessels below. The sweet music of smacking lips, a dancing tongue, and slurping sounds following. And then a blood-curdling scream from Medusa. One wonders what those who came to know of her later would think if they saw her like this. Preying not one individuals, but on an entire city, the demon Medusa sucked the blood of hundreds of people in one night. To think that she was being treated the same by this cute little girl.
姉様、痛いです。あとくすぐったい。いいざま。妹の分際で姉を見下ろしているのが気に入らなかったのよ。
The tall woman trembles in fear, and the cute little girl clings tightly onto her.
私だけというのは片手落ちかしらね。
Steno from the back of Pegasus licks her lips.
おとなしくしなさい、メデューサ。痛いのは抵抗するからですよ。
Her blood plundered from both sides of her nape. Medusa is entranced, standing stock still, like an endless bout of anemia. It is no longer screams that she lets out. The noises now resemble the creaking of some broken mechanism.
妹ってなんて。グズで横着で。短慮でポンクラのくせに。なんて血だけはこんなに美味しいのかしら。お許しください、お姉様。
The two sucking sounds weave with each other in melodious harmony, echoing within the temple. Part of the daily ritual, the younger sisters being disciplined by the mean sisters today. It shall be said again, that is not a rare occurrence on this island. As I come to, I find myself at the storehouse. The sunlight is now considerably lower. Has it been a whole hour already?
変だな。何してたんだっけ、俺たち。
I tilt my head.
何って、私はシロとライダーが土蔵に入ったからこっそり後をつけて。あれ？
Ilia also tilts her head. Ryder frowns deeply.
どうしたライダー、頭痛か？というか、どうしてたんだっけ、俺たち。
いえ、特別なことは何も。単にシロがもう少し背が高ければいいという希望を口にしていただけです。
ああ。
I clap my hands together. Yeah, we did talk about something like that, didn't we? However, if that's the case, then what is bike number 2 doing at Ryder's feet?
ライダー、その転がってる2号のことだけど。
さあ、2号車がなぜここに放置されているか、私は全く感知していませんから。そうですよね、シロ。
ああ、そうだよな。ライダーはここに立ち寄っただけだもんな。2号は
Despite my mind still being a bit foggy up to that point, with Ryder's gaze fixed on me, I start to fear that there's nothing else to it.
ええ、きっとシローがこれから修理するために持ってきたのでしょう。私からの要求はありませんが、メンテナンスをするというのなら、ペダル周りとフレームの強化をしてください。タイヤは全く問題ありませんので。それでは、私はこれで失礼します。それとイリアスフィール、元気なのは微笑ましいのですが、あなたのような幼い少女には高いところは似合いません。似合いませんので、間違っても土蔵の2階からダイブだけはしないように。
頼まれたってそんなことしないのに。
結構です。イリアスフィールは物分かりが良くていい。それでは夕食に。
Flashing an adult-like smile, Ryder leaves the storehouse. Fascinated by the back of the cool adult-like figure, I see her off in a daze. The stylish woman hits her head and crouches down in pain.
ライダー、
ご心配なく。それとシロー、このように背が高くていいことなどあまりないのです。
Tottering, Ryder disappears towards the courtyard. I see. Being tall is unexpectedly troublesome, huh?